And good Saturday morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray as we begin a new day. I think I've got all my ducks in a row and we're ready to roll now as to give you what's going on in and around the area. You're starting this day off with a temperature of about 50. We'll hit 82 before it's all said and done. That's going to be a warm day. We did set a new record yesterday with temperatures, so warm weather it was. Expected to be hot. For March, 82 is very warm. Now, keep in mind, Monday afternoon, we could get into some severe weather. It's moved a little bit to the northeast, but we're still in the block, most of Lauderdale County, at least the northern portion of it, in a level 2. We'll break that down for you in just a moment, let you know exactly where the weather is going to be and what you need to pay attention to. Those times on Monday at this point are from about lunchtime, 11 o'clock, till about 8 p.m. As it gets nearer, we'll know more. As Mother Nature, always tries to change itself, and some last-minute changes there is what I'm getting at with weather always. And we'll watch that closely. We got that coming up there this morning to tell you more about. One thing for our community I wanted to bring out, I got a lot of calls or calls and also text and inboxes about what was going on in the Collinsville area. I heard a helicopter. What was going on? A road was blocked off. And we would find out that one of our own was very sick in the Pogue family. And I pulled this up. They're needing your help as we find out more about this. As we go to this, Lauren Pogue had a brain bleed unexpectedly. Her family could use your prayers, and they're doing a fundraiser for them. They're selling T-shirts, youth size $15, adults $20, and toddler $12. I've got that on my page if you'd like more information to help out there. There's a telephone number on the screen that you can call, or you can inbox me. I'll be glad to share that. Again, they need your help there. She was flown for help in Jackson, and we certainly hope that she gets better. Always sad to see something like that be in our community, and we all try to help as much as we can. But that's the information, and again, if that was too quick, let me know, and we'd be glad to share that with you. And again, it's on the page this morning. I don't have confirmation on this, but I do know that earlier this morning, and it's back open now, that a portion of Highway 19 South was blocked off for a few moments. A truck or something that got stuck. I never could get the exact address, but it was somewhere around Scruggs Road out on Highway 19 South earlier this morning. All that's back open now, which is good news there to travel. We also, this morning, had an accident on I-20. You woke up this morning, we're traveling that direction. There was a mishap out there involving two vehicles, and that would have been at mile marker 171 in the eastbound lane. I think all of that is cleared up now, but two vehicles, and it was some possible injuries involved with that. And a couple of folks had to be taken to the hospital. I think all is good now. Mississippi Highway Patrol and a couple of volunteer fire departments were all over that working on that. I do appreciate that. We say a few good mornings. Rory Ellis up. Kathy, how are you doing, Miss Kathy Sharp? So glad to see you. Connie Johns is up. LaWanda Grantham. Harvey Cleveland, glad to see you there. Miss Ann Murphy, up and going. As Peggy Joyner joins us also. Jane Smith. So good to see each and every one of y'all. We'll learn a few things together, what's going on in and around the area this morning, and find out about the weather and what's happening across the state of Mississippi and nationally. We'll talk about all this, so you'll be kind of up to par on what's going on in our neighborhoods. A few things that I wanted to start off and mention. Nothing too serious last night. I guess that I should take that back. Even if it's just gunshots, I think that's serious, but I have no one hurt at this point. I had several reports of gunshots, 3 last night. On just off 8th Street around the College Park area, there were some gunshots reported. Also, 54th and 55th Ave. Right around on their avenue. 7 to 8 shots were reported on that. And also the 58th Avenue. Had somebody report that there at 1st Street. They heard some stuff. A fender bender last night kind of caused traffic jam at North Hills and Poplar Springs. That would be right there across from Mr. Discount. Right there at that intersection. That went on last night. I think all is okay, but slowed down traffic for just a little bit last night. As we look at a few other things that are going on in and around the area, let me pull up and let's start talking about some things in our area that are going on. Felony charges. We see this all too often in Meridian. The Meridian Police Department has got someone. They've arrested them. Of course, they're a suspect until proven guilty in a court of law. But as we go to this, as we got the report from MPD yesterday, we share this with you. As you go to our webpage, you can see this, or our Facebook page there, sammedia.network. Arrested for a drive-by shooting. That's the gentleman that's accused of this. Kendarius Earl, I believe is how you pronounce that. Kendarius, I'm close. This happened. He's going to be charged with felony fleeing, aggravated assault, and a drive-by shooting from an incident that occurred on February 28th. If you will remember, this was the gentleman that was in his yard minding his own business, and this was a block over. This person and someone else were more or less shooting at each other. They fired, and a man a block away on the other side of the street was hit in the neck. Was flown to Jackson. This gentleman's been arrested. Not much more information is available at this point. It did happen. We got one person in jail. Car thieves. We know that goes on, don't we? Well, it happens here in Meridian, and an arrest has been made. As you dig deeper into this, what I'm told of behind the scenes, this gentleman is arrested for doing it because he did do it. It was somebody preying on someone that, I'm trying to think of the right words, that was easily influenced. I'll word it that way of, hey, I'm going to give you this car, go pick it up. The keys are in it. That's what I'm being told happened behind the scenes. This gentleman is arrested. Dominic Davis has been arrested for at least 2 car thefts. And again, he'll have his day in court. All this happened on March 2nd. These vehicles were stolen from a local dealership, from what I understand. Massey Auto Sales. Shame, shame. But I think there's more to the story than meets the headline there. Somebody using someone that could be easy preyed upon, if you know what I mean. So there's people higher up than that. It's always a ring. We all know that. But he did it, and he'll face his charges, his day in court there. Good morning, Patsy Gilbert. Glad to see you there. I spoke with Donna Jill yesterday on a Friday afternoon. We're getting ready for a June 7th primary. She's released the sample ballot. Have you seen it? We've got that also on our webpage there. You're more than welcome to go take a look at. This is going to be the June 7th primary on the Democrat side and the Republican side. We've got that. Again, that will be the 7th of June. And as you scroll down, you can take a look at all the different forms that are here that are dealing with the election. I've got them for you there. Just visit that page and you can learn more. We'll keep you up to date with what elections are doing and what's out there. I want you to be well informed when you go to vote. No matter what side of the fence that you vote on, Republican, Democrat, if you're an independent, you need to know who's running. How many times have you shown up to vote and you go, I've never heard of this person? Well, we're going to keep this alive. We kind of know who's out there, who to vote for, all that. Recognize the names and do a little research before the election gets here. We did have, and we'll get into the weather here in just a little bit of why not to burn today. This is one of those days that possible wildfire. Don't do it. We did have a wildfire or a burn, let's call it a, what's the best way to put this? Trash pile. Well, it wasn't a trash pile. I guess it'd be a brush fire. That's the way to word that. This was Pine Springs Road yesterday afternoon. Let me pull this up for you. This happened in our area there. That's some acreage that caught fire there that got a little out of hand, a little smoky, isn't it? I understand it was about 10 acres, and there's a little bit of the video there of how it's going across. So be careful. Don't burn today. It just isn't worth it. It'll get out of hand before you know it. And again, that was Pine Springs is where that happened. And it can happen in the blink of an eye when you're burning and get out of hand. The volunteer fire department were called in, and they worked on that. They were able to contain it pretty good. So big thank you to, I know Bailey was involved in that and a few other people. Rena Jones, how are you feeling there? Meridian Public Schools made a release yesterday afternoon. Here we go with this. Mask will be optional at Meridian Public Schools. Of course, we've got the actual write-up here. If you'd like to read more about that also, it's on my Facebook page as well as on the webpage. You can read more about it. All the details are there. But optional, that's good, as America starts rolling back being normal once again, or at least in my opinion, as normal as we can be. Sad news as we go next to Winston County. This breaks your heart. I don't care how you do it. The Winston County Sheriff's Department made the announcement yesterday. They had put out a BOLO, a missing person report for this gentleman. He'd been missing in Winston County, and he has been found deceased. Charles Lester Lampley Sr. He was went missing on the 27th, and as they released this, he was discovered at his home. He died peacefully. I take it that it wasn't easily found, but in the beginning. So sad, but we pass along condolences to Winston County there as a person is found. That's just so horrible. We've all seen this too many times, haven't we? But that's the headlines out of Winston County. We do appreciate the Winston County Sheriff's Department for passing that along to us. As we start looking at some of these headlines across the state of Mississippi, Oktibbeha, as we go to Starkville, Mississippi. And this is not a school teacher. It doesn't tell exactly who it is, but somebody that worked for the school system has been arrested for sending nude pictures to an underage student. They've been arrested. They haven't released a lot of information, but it was to the person under the age of 18. The person is no longer employed by the school system. That's good. More details will come out of this as news breaks of this late yesterday afternoon. We said, way too many times in the state of Mississippi. Let's see, Starkville makes the headlines as we look at a shooting that happened at a department store. And this is just a trend. An 18 and a 19-year-old has been arrested, shooting at each other. No one else was hurt, but they have been arrested, and they'll face the jury, so to speak, for what they've done. The arrest has been made. I don't know what makes people think that that's how you settle things. A guilty verdict was passed down yesterday. We'll find out more about this. Sentencing hasn't happened, but 85 years is what this man is facing. His name is David Hunter Moore. And this is the second time. There's another one that just happened this week. I saw one in national news where this had happened, but this is another case of a business owner hiding a camera in a bathroom and videotaping people as they go to the restroom. One of the victims was 16, which makes this one bad for this guy. He faces 85 years in jail. He's convicted. He'll receive sentencing before too long. He was a Hernando businessman. Again, his name was David Hunter Moore. He was 26 years old. The other one that was arrested, we talked about yesterday in the state of Mississippi, he was also in a business, was a 19-year-old that had hidden a camera. As we go to Madison County, somebody was out for a walk. A 27-year-old was struck by a car, banged up pretty bad in the hospital. They're going to be okay, most likely, but they were hit by a Silverado. Never good. Out for a walk and hit by a car. Horrible. As we saw that in our area, in the Meridian area this week. A state worker was hit. Always be careful. Those orange flags, when it says flagger ahead, take heed because somebody's up ahead. Bank robbers. You don't hear about bank robbers all that much. I know there was one in Hattiesburg a few months back, and he got caught when after the money he had stolen, he went and deposited it in his account at the same bank. This one was in Waveland. Car chase began, apprehended pretty quickly there. But bank robbery, just not the thing to do. That's a federal crime. You go to messing with that, make sure that you're all on top of that. But arrest has been made. That's good. That was Waveland, Mississippi. They're being held on a $150,000 bond. Hopefully they won't do this anymore. But it was a high-speed chase. They caught them there. As we look at other things that are going on across the state, the teachers' pay raise. Now, we talked about Buddy, the bill that was going to protect Buddy in the future and dogs like that from being tortured failed. It will probably come back up. But the teacher pay raise is still trying to make it through the House and the Senate and the Capitol in Mississippi. It had been at one point up to a $6,000 raise over a 2-year period. They're in negotiations, and they've already whittled that down in negotiations to where the pay raise would not reach over $4,700 over a 2-year period. For teachers' assistants, $2,000. It's not ironed out yet. That's a tongue twister, isn't it? But they're still working on it. But teachers may eventually see a pay raise, just not as big as we had hoped that they would get. And those who are passing those should go fill in for a week for a teacher and see if they think they deserve a pay raise. I think they do. They work hard for what they do. An arrest has been made in the state of Mississippi, and it was a huge takedown. They got one in Alabama, one in Louisiana, and 19 in Mississippi. Gangs. The ATF was all involved in this. And I don't know much about when it comes to gangs and the names of gangs, but I'm sure a lot of you know more than I do. The name of the gang was the Simon City Royal Street Gang. The ATF monitored takedown happened. 19 of them in the state of Mississippi were escorted to jail. We'll find out more about that as news breaks on that across the state. It's good to have those off the street. Bad, bad, bad. We took pictures of this last night, and had a lot of comments. Gasoline on the rise. Since March in Mississippi, $1.10 more than it was in March of this year, of last year, year to year there. It's a heap. We go back another year before that, and we're, $2? And climbing. Expect it to reach $5 is what we're all being told. It's scary. That affects all of us from one way or the other. Let's see, a Jackson business owner held 4 suspects that were trying to rob a store at gunpoint until the cops got there. That's good. We also look at Jackson. This one, a burglar, and I'll call him a burglar, I think that's the way to name it, broke into a lady's home, robbed her of her cell phone, took her bank card, her debit card, left, and then came back to rob her again. She took matters into her own hand with I'll call it a butcher knife. They label it as a knife, but we'll call it a butcher knife. She cut him several times. Cops came, he was arrested, and had to go to the hospital. She took up for herself. Took it once, she wasn't going to take it twice. Oh boy. Bet they won't visit her again, will they? Sound like she taught him a lesson. In Natchez, Mississippi, we go south from here. She accidentally shot herself. She was treated at the hospital there, toting a .22 pistol. Somehow or another, it went off. Be careful with firearms is all I can say. That was in Natchez. As we glance at a few other things that happened, this is me because I read so many headlines, and I'm not running down Jackson by any means. I think it's just fact as you look at headlines over the last year and a half. Crime has just escalated in Jackson. If I ever feel that I'm hungry, I think, well, I need a diet when I'm passing through the Jackson area. Just isn't worth it. As we found out, 2 individuals were shot in the parking lot of a Waffle House on Friday night. I'm just not that hungry to stop in Jackson. I can just keep right on going. Newton's not all that far away. We find out nationally, and I think most of us will remember this. Who watched Good Times? Y'all remember that show? JJ and the gang. Do you remember the character Booker? He was the handyman that was on the show. He has passed away this weekend. He was 84. His official name on there was Nathan Booker, but I think most everybody called him Booker. He passed away over the weekend at 84. Hate to see that. Ukraine, it's awful. They had pretty much called a ceasefire as Russia was going to let some of the citizens ease out of a city. They started shelling the citizens. It's a bad situation there in Ukraine. We all know that. Let's see, as we look at a couple of more headlines here. Snorkeling. Anybody ever done that? I never have. But I know there's people that enjoy it. You go down in the ocean and take a look at everything. 2 people, aged 60, 65, were killed in Cancun as they snorkeled. They were killed when they came up and were hit by the propeller of the boat. Horrible. Such a horrible way to go. And a couple or a lady from Mississippi will be headlining 48 Hours, the show that's on CBS. I know the show I'm talking about. They will go back and look at a murder case that involved a University of Mississippi student. She'll be put into the spotlight on the 48 Hours show. It happened. Her name was Allie Costiel, if I'm pronouncing that right. Kostial. It was back in 2019 when she went missing from a bar in Oxford, Mississippi. So that'll be put to the national spotlight. Still sad. It's been a few years since then. But you never get over anything like that. Stay close. We're going to look at your forecast and talk about all of this weather that is coming up Monday. Stay close. We'll do that next here with Scotty Ray's Weather.
The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville has these great savings this week. Mississippi sweet potatoes, 69 cents a pound. Florida strawberries, $2.99. Heinz squeezable ketchup, 32 ounce, $3.49. Skippy peanut butter, 16.3 ounce, 2 for $5. Baby back ribs, $5.99 a pound. And certified Angus beef top sirloin steak, $7.49 a pound.
And we're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
The back porch of Meridian is now open on Highway 19. Anything outdoors. Grills, fryers, pellets. And all grills come with free assembly. Whether you're looking for a cooler or custom woodwork. Plus local beef, milk and ice cream from Beeson, products from Cyples Mills, spices, and a whole lot more. And don't forget to check out the She Shed, where you'll find authentic Louis Vuitton purses and more. And we can't leave out the spoon fudge. The Back Porch, Highway 19 North Meridian. Since 1985, Miss Rodney's Muffler Shop has been taking care of you. As a matter of fact, they're ranked as the #1 muffler dealer in the South Central Mississippi area. Still located on 8th Street, where you can conveniently drop in. Well, they offer you all the Flowmaster and dual pipes that you'll need, any custom bending for your vehicle. They offer mufflers, muffler deletes, and even factory stock mufflers. They can even install a converter for you. 482-8211. 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, and they're open until noon on Saturday.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we look at our record highs and our record lows today, 1974 set that high day, 84 degrees. Brr, 18 back in 43. As we look at today's forecast, 82 is what we're expecting there. Now, some rain chances over by Vicksburg and back into Louisiana, but we look good. 81 down to Hattiesburg, Columbus, a few clouds there, but 80 degrees. It will be a bright, sunshiny day. As we jump over here, again, now clouds early. We're going to get some sunshine out of it. As we go to Alabama, 85 in Selma, Montgomery 85, Demopolis 85. Right there on the border, we should get about 82 in Livingston, Alabama. Northward there, Tuscaloosa should see 84. Good weather in store for us. As we come across and look at the bad weather that is expected on Monday, severe storms possible. As we look at this, that line should be right across here as we look at this level 2 northward of downtown Meridian northward. Now, let's back out and take a look here and pull up radar so you'll know a little bit more about this, of exactly where this is located. Let me turn this on so we can watch together and look where the severe weather line will lie come Monday. And here we go. Let's pull this up here. This is what we've got when it comes to Monday. As we look at this, this will be just north of the city limits of Meridian. Let's turn on locations and look at this. This area from here south will be a level 1. This will cut across basically at Lamar School, dead across over to Owl's Garden and Giffen, up 19 and take in all of the northern part of Lauderdale County, including out at Tomb Suba right here. All this at Tom Bailey Lake northward will be involved in a level 2 and eastward toward Tuscaloosa. We look at this line across Newton County. This is going to be just north of Decatur as we'll go up here. Now keep in mind, this is Saturday. This is on Monday. This line can change and most likely will several times. This will cut across and cover all of Neshoba and Kemper, all of Noxubee, Winston County, and Attala County, and on up toward Mississippi State, and then out of the state eastward toward Huntsville, Chattanooga, Murfreesboro, and Nashville will be included in this, all the way up toward that eastern coastline there into West Virginia. That's what we're expecting with severe weather on Monday. And again, this timeline that we're expecting this is level 1, this is level 2, will be somewhere in the neighborhood from 11 o'clock until about 2 p.m. that afternoon, or 11 o'clock in the morning until 8 p.m. that night. Let me back up and get my bearings straight on that. But severe weather expected there. As we come across and show you what Alabama is expecting, we'll look at this. This is it, that line north of Demopolis, taken in Tuscaloosa that we just looked at. Now, again, with all this damaging winds, we could see 60 miles an hour. Tornadoes are possible and quarter-size hail. As we've watched these storms lately, they've developed in Mississippi, and once they get to that line, it looks like we could have a repeat of this. They get worse toward Alabama. We'll be on top of this and go live to give you the very latest coverage as that nears us. Wildfire threat. As we talked about not burning today, we're at a level 1, a limited threat from Yazoo all the way taken in Meridian, Laurel, even down to Wayne County. Y'all be careful. Don't burn unless you absolutely have to. The firefighters would rather you not. Hold off until after this rain to where it makes everything a little damp, a little easier. I know you got a bunch of limbs, but hold off on that if you can. As we look here at the temperatures over the next 6 to 10 days, looking better. Cooler weather may be in store, but it's not right now. We've got that warm weather. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and jump into our 7-day forecast here and expand a little bit on it as to what to expect. Now, today's sunshine, 82, will have gusts of about 25 miles an hour. So it will be breezy, and you factor in all of these ingredients of it being dry, the humidity, don't burn. As we look to tomorrow, even warmer, 83 on Sunday. Now, late in the afternoon, we'll get a 40% chance of showers after lunch, in between there and 5. A partly sunny sky, high of 83, and tomorrow also gusty. Now, this is where we get into the more severe weather when we get to Monday. Still hot, 84 for a high. 90% chance of thunderstorms. We'll get down to 50, and at least 20 degrees difference there between Monday and Tuesday, with a high of only 59 on Tuesday. Rain still in the forecast as we look at this. 70% chance there. As we'll have showers and some thunderstorms after 3 on Tuesday. Wednesday gets a little bit better there, 60% as it starts to decline. By Thursday, we're down to a 20, and then maybe some more afternoon showers on Friday. As we jump ahead and we look till the 19th of the month, 50s and 60s, and we'll start warming back up on the 17th to the mid-70s. A lot of weather to watch as we continue to do this over the next few days. Again, severe weather possible on Monday. We'll keep you up to date with the very latest. Now, what are the best times to fish today if you're going to be hitting the water? As we pull this up, here we are. Today, a major time to head out this afternoon will be 4 o'clock to about 6 o'clock. Would be the best time on the water today to catch your good ones if you wasn't out there at daylight. Our wind's going to be southwest 5 to 10, increasing to 10 to 15 in the afternoon with wind gusts of about 25. That matters when you're chucking those lines, so keep that in mind. I want to say thank y'all for coming by and being a part of this as we fill you in on the news and everything that goes on in our community. It is the Scotty Ray Report. We can't do it without you. Each of you passing along information. It does help. Thank y'all so much. A big thank you to the sponsors that help us get by. Linda Culpepper, how are you from North Alabama? Hope everything is good. Brenda Gordon, good morning. Billy and Olive Dorman Jr., how are y'all today? Sandy Kaz is up. Joyce Gressett. Zach Garvin is what LaWanda said. Great food there in Newton. It is there. We do appreciate y'all, including Miss Karina Jones there. Teachers are they're appreciated, but well underpaid, as she puts it. Thank y'all. We'll be back with break-ins, anything that happens, with reports, should you need to know anything that happens in our community. And if I don't know about it, inbox me so we can share it with others. And Candace will be back bright and early Monday morning at 8 o'clock. We'll have another report for you at 6:30 on Monday morning. Thank y'all for being a part of this. We'll see you soon at Scotty Ray's Weather.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by